And Mo, put these dads.
Tune in. Tune in.
This is your Friday Night Light podcast, photo and entertainment, and Middle Georgia sales and services. Coke, don't worry about Pepsi.
I had to go see a man about a meal.
Look at here, look at here.
A-Town down.
And you better not lose.
Tune in.
Not so fast, my friend.
You better say it with your chest.
Come on now, shout it.
And you better not lose. Hey, you better watch your mouth now.
I am a Lego.
Better shut your mouth.
Yes, I am. I don't mean to interrupt. Better say it with your chest. Let's get it.
And you better not lose.
In the world, there are those who are.
What's up,
Good
good people?
evening.
Hola, mi
What's
familia.
How we doing today, people?
Hello, everybody in podcast land.
I just love it. I love to have my team together. How y'all doing today?
Doing good, man. Doing
We
good.
good.
Man,
Did
hold on,
everybody
hold on.
enjoy their fourth?
I actually didn't do anything on the 4th. We did something on the 2nd. I'm sorry, the 1st. Oh, no, it was the 2nd. That Sunday. We did something that Sunday, and I just laid around on the 4th. What about you all?
Well, it's my first fourth outside of Georgia, and I didn't like it.
No.
I had to go searching for some barbecue, so I didn't like it.
I'm just not gonna send y'all no pictures.
Oh, Lord.
Thank you.
I started to send y'all a picture yesterday, but I changed. I don't know why I didn't. But boy, let me tell you something. Them thick cut pork chops yesterday. Ooh, wait.
Oh, so you was the grill master yesterday.
Man, I was on the grill Sunday and Tuesday.
I bet they were tough.
I bet they would.
Now, like we need
We
to have
ain't got nobody to verify that, yo. We ain't
I
got
know.
nobody to verify that.
I know, right?
sound like we need to have a grill off.
Right.
I mean, you can. All I'm gonna do is hurt their feelings.
He don't want that smoke.
Oh, buddy, I'm bringing the clean smoke with me.
Oh,
Look, you know
grill.
that Cedar Grove thing, they the grill masters anyway. You remember they went down there to Chris County with a whole doggone handmade grill that they had took down there.
Well, now that the brackets have been released for the upcoming season playoffs, if Peach County and Cedar Grove handle their business, possibly can see each other in the 3rd round. Thursday and I already don't talk about getting together, so maybe we'll get to see what the deal is on that grill off.
And I would definitely have to come home for that.
you will be
Hey, you're gonna be home anyway. It's Thanksgiving weekend. You're gonna be home.
Okay.
You would be the enemy. I wouldn't want nothing you cook at that point.
Right. Be having us, we can't even sit and watch the game. Everybody be running to the bathroom to
That's what you
concession, trying to get to the bathroom.
We're gonna make sure we leave something in the locker room too.
Right.
What's going on, Shakira?
What's up, sis?
Hey y'all.
Here, hey, Drum.
Hey, what's up, Jay?
Bro, what's good, man?
Dro, how we doing today?
Dro, you sound mighty sleepy.
Yeah.
Girl, you know he come on here with that Barry White every time he come on.
I just want to say, Dro, you went to sleep on us last week and they let you stay on till like 9:30ish.
We were trying to see if you were gonna snore or anything.
I hope my mic was muted because
It was.
around this time I'm knocked out. You know what I'm saying?
It was.
We didn't hear shit.
Okay, cool.
We heard that.
Thankful because look, we get you on here. You fall asleep on here, we gonna get you.
Know.
Podcast land, man. How y'all doing today? We got a great show coming to you, man. We're gonna bring you an interview from Cedar Grove starting quarterback EJ Colson. We're gonna get to some 6A rankings that was released earlier this week. Let us know how you feel. But until we get into that,
7A.
man, y'all, 7A, you're right, babe. I'm sorry. Y'all comment. Let us know how y'all enjoyed y'all fourth. What did you do? How did you spend it?
Well,
Pedro,
before
what
we
did you
We
get
do
got a
for the
peach
fourth,
hater. We
babe?
got a
get to
peach
that,
hater already in the comments.
yeah, let me jump on Mr. Hill right quick. Now, in a minute, y'all gonna be talking about, well, y'all got Chris Canner on your mind. Well, we see who got Peach Canner on their mind.
Ah,
Why don't you worry about what Chris Canner got going on and that coach that y'all want to run away from down there? You know what I'm
well,
saying? Instead of worried about Peach Cannon, what we gonna do? You know what
well,
I'm
Joe,
saying?
it's considering he worried about us not going to the third round, considering he know they won't even make the playoffs. That's why he worried about what round we going to.
And
And y'all
you
give him
know
some
what, yo,
grace. Give him
if
some grace.
they better not lose.
They
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 better
not
make the playoff.
they
They better
man,
make
come
the
on.
playoff.
They fight for a fourth seed,
Look,
and I think they don't get it this year.
Y'all give that man some
right.
grace
Doherty gonna knock
because
them right on out.
give him
Yep.
some grace because if he didn't have Peach Can on his mind, he wouldn't have nothing else to do.
There you go, babe. Sound good to me.
Exactly.
Yep.
And
Cause Coke don't
let's
worry
make sure
about
we let
Pepsi.
podcast land know that this is not a peach kind of podcast now. So
Right.
don't think of this a peach kind of podcast. But
Exactly.
if y'all want to know the background of the rivalry between Chris, Peach, and Cedar Grove, catch us inside the group, when we do different lives and everything. So let's kick it off, y'all.
All right, Mr. Robert, how you doing? How was your fourth, man? What did you do? Twin, what y'all do for the fourth? Hey, what's
Hey,
going
Mr.
on, Tito?
Robert. Hey, Tito.
Welcome from Thompson. How was your 4th of July, man? Let us
Hi.
know what you do.
Thompson Bulldogs in the house from Savannah, Georgia.
How y'all
Who
think the
from Savannah?
Bulldogs gonna do this year?
Thompson.
Well,
Thompson
they don't
from
have Curry, so
Savannah.
I can only go by what they're saying, and apparently it's the next man up mentality, and they got a lot of people coming back, and they'll be better than next year if you hear
I
me.
mean, I think that's every fan. Let's be real. They
every
lost
fan
them.
base says that.
Yeah, they lost a monster in Curry.
Yeah.
I just don't see you just replacing that just like that at a snap of a finger.
Not
So
on offense unless you
yeah,
got at least 3 dynamite, offensive players that can take up the slack that Curry had for you guys last year.
exactly.
So
If I remember
J-Bo, what's
correctly,
good, J-Bo?
They had another running back, didn't they? If I
Yeah, they
remember
did.
Yeah,
correctly.
they did, but he wasn't Curry.
No, but he was good.
It's
He
pretty
had
good.
flashes of like he could change a game if need be.
Okay.
okay, we'll keep y'all on the
Good luck
radar.
to the Bulldogs this season. Wish y'all well. Hope you do good.
The reigning state 2A champions.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
right.
So you already know the bullseye on y'all back, right? Every year,
And same rule applies. You better
right?
lose,
Bet not lose.
and make sure don't run away if you do lose. The way y'all were in there in November, y'all make sure y'all are that
Keep
y'all
that
stay
same energy.
strong. Yeah.
Keep that
Exactly.
same energy. Don't go
Exactly.
hiding. Don't go hiding where we got sent an APB out on you.
Hey,
Tito
Right,
Mr.
says
like
they
Poole.
lost
Watermelon
Curry,
Nation
but
do. They go run and hide.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, this other fan base do it every year.
and
Anthony Poole. Welcome from Waco. House of Pain.
Cool. Tito said they have Jeffries coming back. He had over 1,000 yards last year.
Yeah, that's the other back there. And again, I
Okay.
know he was decent. I'm not taking nothing away from it, but Curry was a special talent.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
He
plus
was
it's gonna be
special.
hard for a kid. Plus it's gonna be hard for one individual to carry the load for 2,000 yards.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's what I said, Mike. I
yeah,
said you're gonna have to have at least 2 or 3 of
yeah.
those type athletes to carry what Curry had. So
Oscar
Well,
Miles,
well,
what's good, man? Y'all let us
one
know in
y'all
the
look at it.
comments
Look
what
at
y'all
it this
did for
way.
y'all fourth.
Hold on. Look at it this way. It with any football team, it should be next man up.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely.
so we don't. They know what they have coming back. We don't know yet. You see what I'm saying? I get what you're saying, yo. It's hard to replace that production. That was special last year, but I'm waiting to see what other production that they're gonna have in the upcoming season. They supposed to have the next man up mentality. They got the target on their back in 2 ways.
Right.
So, either way it go, they're gonna have to get out there and defend the championship.
And that's the point that I'm saying, Dro. You all know, I mean, you can go back to Thompson is definitely a historical program of winning. I'm not speaking on championships, but Thompson teams have always put together, good win seasons and things like that. So it always a next man up mentality. But when you have that one player, that special player that comes through, it's hard. I mean, we could go back to teams that we know of. I think about, say, Washington County team. When you had like the likes of Robert Edwards or Tequil Spikes coming through in the early 90s and AJ Gray coming through in the mid 2000s and stuff. When you had special players like that, although Washington County have always had that team, that one special player make a difference. So
exactly, they're literally carrying the team on their backs. I mean, we've seen that with Pierce County and DJ Bell. So I mean, it makes a difference. And because you don't hear those next men up, you don't hear their names, because they're not getting the necessary reps that they probably need to get that credibility. You still gonna be reluctant to say, okay, the next man up is gonna be equally as important as this guy that just left.
Yes, that's true. But I also think that I don't think that Thompson has fallen off as much. I don't think they're a one and done kind of thing. No. I think they're going to make some noise. Now, whether or not they'll win it, I don't know, but you will definitely hear them.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that's the point I was saying. Like, case in point, Jake Fromm. Jake Fromm was a one of a kind talent at the quarterback position at Hoco. Now, after Jake Fromm came Max Rigby. Max Rigby was a good quarterback. He could have played Division I football, but he wasn't Jake Fromm. It was the next man up with Max Rigby, who was decent, but it wasn't Jake Fromm. I'm pretty sure the guy that they just spoke of, Jeffrey, is an outstanding kid, outstanding back. I don't take nothing from him. But is he Curry special? That's the thing when I'm speaking of. Yeah, Thompson gonna definitely make noise, always do. But do they have that one special talented kid that can carry them all the way to hoist the trophy at the end of the year? That's what I'm eager to see and look forward to. That
credibility is to be determined.
Yes.
Here's my question for Mr. Phillips.
Season exciting.
Exactly.
Got a chance to see. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, here's my question for Tito, though. Tito made a comment saying both quarterbacks are back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay. You got one quarterback in Jones that threw for 1,000 yards, barely threw over 1,000 yards, and then Story that barely threw for 850. My thing is this. One is a statement. If you got two quarterbacks, you have no quarterback. That's how we feel on here. Number two, Curry put up almost over 1,800 yards of offense by himself.
With the run game.
No, I mean that's total yardage, run and receiving. So you have to replace that 1,800. Basically, you got to replace 2,000 yards of offense. And then on top of that, your top two receivers are going in Curry and Brigham. Who's going to replace them for the quarterbacks to throw to and be confident in when they throw to them?
Right, based off the stats and the numbers that they produced last year, when pretty much y'all offense was more of a running game than it was a passing game.
And just to reiterate on what you and Thirst are saying, babe, if you had a change of quarterback or maybe an offensive coordinator, I can understand you saying, oh, well, but you're bringing in the same coaching style, which means those plays are solid. That Curry right, Curry left, screen pass to Curry, that's still in the playbook. That's what you're going to run. You got to find somebody that can fill in his shoes to give your quarterback, like they said, the confidence. He knew if I throw this 5-yard hitch to Curry, he can turn it into an 80-yard touchdown. You got to find that in another kid. And, I mean, maybe maybe that's what you have in your backup. Maybe you got a upcomer that we hadn't heard about. That's why I say it, and Dro said it. That's what make the beginning of every football season so interesting. The not knowing and waiting to see. That's what gets me up every morning. I want to know who's going to be that next Curry, who's going to be the next kid that just take over a team and hoist the trophy at the end of the year, the next DJ Bell. I'm looking forward to that. So,
absolutely.
Big ups, Thomas Thompson. Hope y'all got that guy.
Yeah.
Y'all keep talking. I'm scrolling. I'm looking because somebody said something about Thompson in the group. I'm trying to pull it up.
Okay.
While you doing that, I got another question for Mr. Tito. Who's gonna step up, Jones or Lane? Because both of them gonna be seniors this year. So who's gonna step up?
And because he's a fan, do he know if the team is leaning towards one more than the other as one?
That's the point I wanted to make, babe. Because we just said. You down to less than 2 months starting next week to football. You got to know what your depth chart looking like by now. Exactly. You got to know. If you still trying to decide going into the starting game, the opening week, who's your starting quarterback, everybody know the saying. Mike just said it. You don't have a quarterback if you got two and you trying to decide which one's going to be your starter.
Pierce County got a dog at running back, Jai Evans. Y'all gonna kill him like y'all did, DJ?
Well, Barry,
get that boy some help now, Pierce County. Get that boy some help.
Barry, is that your nephew? Let us know if that's your nephew, Barry. We heard your nephew was a pretty good dog down there. Let us know if that's what you're speaking on.
Is this the kid that came from where?
I'm not sure, but I know I saw the kid that I was told was Barry's nephew that kind of did some special things last year in spell of DJ Bell, and Pierce had a real potent offense when they both was on the field. So maybe that's who he's talking about.
Huncho, don't be claiming all them kids down there talking about that's your nephew and your cousins. We know Pierce is small down there in Swampland, but don't be claiming all them kids.
So, what we look like? Are we ready to kick this interview off and get the show going, or you all want to try to take some more comments on how was you all fourth and what you expect your team to come up this year?
I'm looking at Brian. I said hey to Tanisha. She told us hello. Hey Tanisha. Brian said Lane is just as fast as Curry. He ran a kickoff back in the championship game.
Okay.
Again, Brian, the question is just like Mike said. I mean, with Curry, you've lost 800 yards in rushing and receiving, and can he do that? And will you have somebody? Can he step up and do what Curry did? And then can you have somebody step up and do what Jeffries did? So I think
good point, Jess. Because if Jeffries step up and replace 1,800 yards for Curry, who's going to replace that 1,000 yards for him?
Right.
Who's going to be that guy?
Yeah. Did you hear me, Ma? Did you check the private chat?
Oh.
Well, one of y'all, you or Mike, check the private chat.
All right, going now. Oh man.
Yes, off the subject.
Oh, okay.
The number one wide receiver in the country, Cam Coleman, which goes to Central Phoenix City, committed to Texas A&M yesterday. Well,
awesome! Congrats. Yeah, I know. Florida State had a lot of commits yesterday on July 4th. I know a lot of kids are doing their commitments this month and early August. So, guys, when you got commitments that are happening with your school and your team, shoot that information out to us so we can shout out those guys and congratulate them. Because that's pretty big. When they make that decision where they're gonna spend the next 4 to 5 years, that's big. And we wanna make sure that they see that we're excited for them and we're wishing them well.
Cam Coleman mom was a part of she used to come on faithfully.
Oh yeah, she did.
Oh, yeah.
She did. Yeah, she disappeared too.
Yeah, I mean, I guess after they came over here and did what they did, they didn't have no need to stay over here. Brian says we never depend on one bat. He was just a special bat. They got a stable of bats. That's our point. But okay.
Okay. The season shall reveal that and show that.
We wish you the best. But if you lose, and that goes for everybody.
Exactly.
Tito says he thinks it's going to be by committee in the backfield. And in and out, try to keep Lane and Jeffers fresh.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
Hey, real quick, I got 2 words. Oh, go ahead, EP.
Kira, go ahead and give them the lingo, what they gonna hear if they lose. Oh, whatever.
Every Friday night.
Say it again, sis.
I'm sorry.
You better not lose.
Now, I got 2 words to say to Shan's announcement of Florida State signing a couple of kids on the 4th. Oh, boo.
Watch him out.
Who gives a I mean, it's Florida State.
Look, I know, but I think they are trying to build their program. And I think based off the recruitment they're getting, their 24, 25 class should be, something good.
And that's something we talked about that. You made a great point in the group chat about that, and I have to concur with it. It's just one thing that even if they had the number 1 recruit class that I couldn't get over, and, I say this kind of hesitant, reluctant to say, I feel bad to what they did to a brother.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't give him that opportunity. Yeah. So it just, Florida State is just, it is what it is when it comes.
I hate to be that person. I really hate to be that person. Because I'm here in Tallahassee. Did they do that to him or did he do it to himself?
No.
Well, he didn't get the same opportunity.
He didn't get that opportunity
that Mike Norville did, and Jimbo left them in a lurch.
A shambles
the way he did them. That's the only way he could get the job. Right. And they just really didn't want him there in the first place. And so I'll tell anybody, I've been a Florida State fan since 1988. Okay.
Well, in the words of my boy Yo, panel member, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I have a service announcement here quick. Okay. Hit it for me, Jess. It's on the screen. Hit it for me. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say.
You can support me by sending stars. Stars help me earn money to make more content. Cash App, $ FNL Podcast Show.
This is to help us keep shows coming to you, and something else we doing coming into the school season. We're gonna do like we did last year. We're gonna do fundraiser. We're gonna do gift cards. So if you know anybody that want gift card, we haven't came up with it yet, because if y'all would like to be a pillar of help to someone that's less fortunate to get school supplies, that y'all can help us out or whatever the case may be. But we got more information coming out in the coming days about what we're gonna do for the back to school. Last year we helped 5 families last year with $25 a piece for school supplies. So this year we want to at least do about 20, 25 if this is able. So, we just want to be out there and just give you the heads up in advance. Okay, go ahead, Shane.
And there are always guidelines for this. So, we know that there's people who out there can't afford school supplies for their kids. And if you can, please don't be trying to submit for this. We want people who we know that, got multiple kids. It might be a hard to get all the kids, the necessary stuff that they need to have a successful school year. Those are the people that we're looking to bless with this. So if you know those people, or some of those kids are in your school and you want to recommend them or whatever based on some of the criteria and guidelines that we put out, then please do that. So with that being said, we're gonna go right into. We had a pre-recorded interview that was done by 4-star quarterback at Cedar Grove today. So we're gonna take a commercial break, and after commercial break, we'll have the interview that was pre-recorded today with 4-star quarterback from Cedar Grove. Mike, you want to elaborate on that?
So we was fortunate enough to Mr. EJ Colson had some time in his schedule, so he was fortunate enough to come on and give us an interview. And with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we will run that interview.
This is your Friday Night Lights podcast show.
Yo, checking in one time for your mind. Stay tuned for your Friday Night Lights every Monday and Wednesday night.
This is your Friday Night Lights podcast show.
I have to go see a man about a million.
And you better not lose.
I don't hear the sound from it. Is it going to have the sound?
You can't hear the sound?
No.
Hold on. I hear it. I can hear. Y'all can't hear it?
No.
No.
Let me see. What's going on? Why it's not? Hold on. Let me try. Hold on. I can hear it. I don't know why y'all can't hear it, but okay.
Because you're the producer.
Oh, in the comment they said they can't hear it. Oh man, let me see.
Bear with us, guys. Technical difficulties.
Stand by.
And hurry up and fix that, because look at me. Look at my thumbnail. I don't like that.
Hold on. Let me see if I can. Let me see what's going on real quick. I'm gonna let y'all talk until I get it right. I get to bring it back up.
Okay. That'll come up here shortly. So, what do you guys think about the all the ESPN cuts from the sports analysts that's going on?
Bull sugar.
I got my application in.
Like, how are they determining? Like, they letting some of the good people go, and then some of the people they're keeping. I'm like, whoa, not everybody though, because Tayoka's still on the list, so he's being kept. But some of the others, I'm just really shocked.
It's a money thing. It's either, they're making a lot of money, and either their contract is up and they're just not going to renew it, or they're just trying to trim the fat. Because I'm wondering, people like, why does Kendrick Perkins still have a job?
Right.
He doesn't make as much as other people make. So I get it. And my thing is, I don't care how much. Can we get rid of Molly?
Right. Like, she's still there?
Yes. Anybody associated with Stephen A is still there. And I don't understand. I don't know much about Pat McAfee. Apparently he's very popular, but I've never listened to him. So
yeah, he is. He does have a big following base, but when they start doing the first cuts, I was like, okay, they making room for me and my sisters. They about to call us up. We about to be part of the ESPN crew. We about to cut loose for the podcast. We lead the guys.
I will go.
Right.
Y'all ain't leaving nobody. I'll see you there. We'll see you there. I already told you what the name of the new. I already told you what the Friday night show gonna be called.
Okay, there we go. Okay, guys, we coming back with the interview.
Man, Mo, that was a quick commercial break. But for everybody out there, take the chance and time to welcome Mr. E.J. Colson, quarterback for Cedar Grove. Mr. E.J., how you doing today, sir?
Doing great. How about y'all?
Welcome, EJ. Welcome to the show, brother.
Oh, yes, sir.
Doing good, sir.
Thank y'all for having me.
Enjoying the small break you got right now?
Oh, yes, sir. Been working out, ready to get back into it.
Okay, well, we ain't gonna hold you up because we know you
yes,
got to get back to grinding, so we're just gonna jump right into it. All right. First question we got for you is, what's a typical day in the life of E.J. Colson during football season?
A lot of football, I would say that. But waking up, I'll probably wake up around 6. Sometimes I wake up around 6 Monday, Wednesdays. Workout, little small workout, ab workout, push-ups, a little running, cardio, school, going 100% in school, giving them all in school. Then, football practice, staying after football practice, and getting out there early before, putting in hard work, going hard all through practice, then staying after, putting some more work.
Okay. Yeah, it wasn't like that for us in school.
I like that you put that homework in there. That's very important. Keep that balance.
What's up?
Yes, ma'am.
So, all right, we're going to keep it moving on real fast. So, I went digging into the county stats during the off season, and I see you finished the season 182 for 290, 63% passing completion rates, right?
Yes, sir.
2,600 yards, 29 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
Yes, sir.
Now, all that being said, you led DeKalb County in passing.
Yes, sir.
To go along with 127 carries for 486 yards.
Yes, sir.
All that done in 14 games this year.
Yes, sir.
What do you have set as a goal to improve on this offseason and upcoming season?
Improve on. There's a lot. I would say I want to be able to get the ball out quicker. I've been focusing a lot on that. Working with my trainer about being able to read defenses better. Getting in the lab with my guys. I feel like we're gonna have a very young team this year, so I have to improve as a leader, most and foremost. So I have to push my guys harder this year because we're young, so I got to push them to be great, push them to give 100% all the time. Just be themselves.
Great answer. Great stuff.
Okay, Mr. Colson. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This question is coming from the panel, of course, but South Georgia, by way of Thomasville.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you view yourself as a pocket passer or a dual threat quarterback, and why?
To be honest, I don't like the narrative of dual threat or pocket passer. I feel like I'm a quarterback. I can pass the ball. I can make any throw on the field. I can get out the pocket, hurt you with my legs. I feel I'm a quarterback. I hate the narrative of how they push as I'm a dual threat. I just love playing the game of football. First and foremost, as a quarterback, you have to be a leader. So, I push that. So that the dual threat and pocket passing narrative,
Okay, great answer. My second question is, what collegiate or NFL quarterback do you watch and study to incorporate in your style of play?
Yes.
Well, he's in the NFL now, so I'm gonna start with Bryce Young. I just feel like one thing I get from Bryce Young, you always gotta stay calm, cool, collected during the battle. And I saw that during the Tennessee game. You see that a lot during all his games. Anytime things going wrong, he's always the most calm person on the field. And that helps with your team, because when you get rattled, your team's rattled. So I feel like Bryce Young, but then I have to say Russell Wilson as the older guy. Russell Wilson can make any throw on the field. He can also get out the pocket. He eludes pressure very well, and he makes all the right decisions that you need as a quarterback.
Okay, good answer. Good answer.
I love those. I love those.
Yeah.
I like the fact that you gave a young guy and a seasoned guy, in your answer, because that's important. Because, you being a young quarterback and coming back, looking at an older quarterback who's now probably going to be retiring in the next 2 to 3 years, and that younger quarterback going to have to be stepping up, taking some of the ropes from that older quarterback and representing himself in the NFL. So I'm glad you gave both answers like that.
Yeah, definitely. Mr. Colson, again, man, we're glad that you joined us today. My name is Yo. My question for you, as a student athlete, a former student athlete myself, I know that it's very challenging, balancing schoolwork, personal life, family, as well as football and all the other sports that you are not just playing, also starring in. You showed a lot of grit in that championship game, getting injured and coming back and still playing and stuff like that. My question to you is, what keeps you motivated when those times like that pile up, things start getting hard? What keeps you motivated and well-grounded to continue to be the young man that you are?
First and foremost, I keep God first. I know I can face any battle with him leading the way. So I keep him first. I use my family, my friends. I feel like they know they can talk to me about anything. I can talk to them about anything. And just being able to just have fun. Sometimes we get so caught up in, trying to go so hard, we don't have fun. Every time I step on the field, I just want to have fun, and that's something that also keeps me motivated.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can I interject? Can I ask a question right quick before my connection go back up? Hey, EJ, my name is Pedro. Good to see you, man. Glad, for you to join us today.
Yes,
last season's state championship game ended in a lot of controversy. Because of that controversy, how did it affect y'all approach for the upcoming season?
I wouldn't say it affect anything. It makes us go harder. My team, it motivated us a lot. In the weight room, when I say we're going harder, and harder. On the field, we communicate more. We're doing everything right because we know we don't want that to happen again. The game shouldn't have been that close to even for that to even decide that, so we just feel like we just got to keep going, harder.
Yes, I like that mentality. I like that. Now, your recruiting process, we are aware that you will be committing to a school on tomorrow. Congratulations to you on that. Whatever school you choose. Make sure you come back to the show and speak with us after you do that.
Yes,
but if you had the opportunity to speak to some underclassmen, with you just being a junior this upcoming season, but if you had a chance to speak to some younger guys and tell them about the recruiting process and how things has been going for you, what kind of advice would you give them to kind of help them when it comes to them making their decision on what college or school they would be choosing?
First and foremost, I would start, don't get caught up in the rankings. A lot of kids get caught up in the rankings. Oh, I'm not a 4-star, I'm not a 5-star. My dad taught me early, don't even worry about that. That's opinion based, and my dad keeps telling me opinions don't cash at the bank. So I'm not really worried about all that. So don't just keep going. Don't worry about the rankings. Don't worry about none of that. Also, academics, it's big. Coach is not gonna talk to you if you ain't got the academics.
There you go. You go.
Go hard in the classroom like you go hard on the field. That's why that's what's been instilled in me. Really you should go hard in the classroom, then you go on the field.
Then you go on the field, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Also, I would say, go somewhere where they love you. Don't go somewhere where they just want you around because you're a good player. Go somewhere where they're gonna develop you. Go somewhere where they're gonna push you to be a better man, better person. Go somewhere where you can get a great education. I want to study in biology, so I'm going somewhere where that biology program is top notch. So
there you go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, very, very intelligent young man. You have shown us here on the panel as well as our listeners. But we've already known this about you. Friday Night Lights will be in attendance tomorrow if that's okay. I'm not sure how you all are doing it, but we would definitely love to be in attendance tomorrow when you pick your school. And again, just coming from Yo, I do enjoy, and I do thank you for coming on, giving us some of your time today. I'll turn it back over to old Thurston and see if he got anything else for you or anyone else on the panel.
Oh, yes, sir.
Once again, as Joe said and everybody else on the panel, man, we greatly appreciate you taking time out of your day coming to join us. We look forward to your decision tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
We look forward to seeing you playing in this upcoming, what shall I say, for the next 2 upcoming seasons before you leave the state of Georgia or wherever you decide to go. But the main thing is appreciate you, and we hope you come back and talk to us again later on before you do leave high school.
Oh, yes, sir, I will. Most definitely. Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me.
Yes, and stay grounded. Stay grounded. I love the fact that you're saying that, academics are more important, books before ball games.
Yes,
that's always been my motto in my house. So I love that answer. Stay grounded. Keep God first. And whatever you do, you outwork you. You ain't worry about nobody else. You outwork you. And you've been doing that and showcasing that, all up into your junior year. So I know you won't have no problem doing that, up until your last year for your senior year. So good luck to you. We wish you the best. Have a great season. Stay safe. And I'm pretty sure we'll be hearing some more EJ Colson stats and stories upcoming.
Thank you.
He been doing this.
Seeing you around the practice field. Have a good day, young man.
Hold on. I was just saying, it's just something I've been watching him since he's been in the Red Breeze. So it's just something I've been watching from him since he was in Red Breeze. Sometime when I ain't doing that, I go back and watch some videos of him when he was with the Red Breeze. So
yes, sir, me too. Yes, sir.
Hey, good luck on the upcoming season, EJ.
Absolutely.
I salute you and keep up the good work, young man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Hats off to his parents.
Yeah.
For sure. Mm-hmm.
Want a commercial, Mo?
Tune in.
This is your Friday Night Lights podcast, photo and entertainment, and Middle Georgia sales and services. Coke don't worry about.
Awesome interview.
Good job, guys.
Great interview.
Y'all did a great job. And I don't know if EJ is listening, but I was very, very impressed with the interview. Keep it up, young man.
Absolutely. And if his parents are out there listening, let me tell you something. He's a great representation of you guys and his upbringing. You guys, my hats are off to great parenting and how he's been brought up and how he's staying grounded, how he's been a student athlete. I mean, can't do nothing but wish him the very best. And, a round of applause to the parents for that, because that's important.
I have to chime in and agree. He's a very humble young man, and we love to see those type of kids. They not only love what they do, but they are respectful at the same time. And it gets no better than that. You wish them the best at the next level and currently as well. But
exactly.
Yeah, I was very impressed with that young man. I look forward to seeing, the success he will achieve on the field this year.
Oh, yes.
And can I say to my podcast members, you all did a fantastic job with your interview questions and the delivery of your interview questions. So kudos to you all.
Thank you, teammates.
Well, thank you, babe.
Right.
Appreciate it, Auntie.
Thank you, sis. Even though they tried to push up on me like I wasn't gonna be on time or nothing.
Oh yeah, they tried you, sis.
Yeah. I told Mo, I said she coming. I can't, but she said she coming.
Exactly. But
she got 5 minutes.
All she needed was 3.
Exactly.
Jeremy is in the comments, y'all. He already got folks fussing.
Well, let him take his medicine. Let him take his medicine. He need it. Let them give him his medicine.
Exactly.
Hey.
Exactly.
Hey. Colt, don't worry about Pepsi.
And
Sure don't. Sure don't. That's that bull sugar. But anywho, podcast, y'all already know what time it is. We've been doing it every week. It's time for 7A preseason rankings.
Let's get into it.
Where's my buddy Jamie? He's been here all this time.
Jamie, you better jump on here and represent Colquitt.
Come on, Jamie, where are you, buddy?
I was about to say he want to give his intake on everything. His school coming up this week and he's not on. That's not like Jamie.
I hope he's okay.
Nah.
Buddy.
Do we need to go ahead and put our disclaimer out there before we get started into this?
Go ahead, Mike, because we don't want to have what we had last week.
Oh, I'm sorry. Real quick, let me just announce to the listeners, tune in to Friday Night Lights page tomorrow. If you are interested in where EJ Colson will be signing his letter of intent, he won't be signing a letter of intent, but where he will be making a verbal commit to play for the next 3 to 5 years. Friday Night Lights will be going live at that signing. So y'all make sure y'all tune in tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right. With that being said, as we discussed, the 7A early preseason rankings, do keep in mind, this is during spring. These rankings were made up in the spring prior to any transfers or anything happening.
Everybody repeat after thirst. Early
And preseason.
Way too early. Let's say that. Way too early.
Go ahead, bro.
Okay. So prior to news notifications of immediate or intermediate transfers, this is how we viewed 7A. With all that being said, started off with number 1A character. Reason being, one of the best quarterbacks in the class of 2027? 2028?
What is he?
This kid is special. Yeah, he's a special.
Yeah, if you don't know about Juju Lewis, please go Google him because you're going to hear that name for the next 3 years in high school, and then you're going to hear his name again in college somewhere. So Juju Lewis, if you don't know who he is, Google the kid. He's special. And if anybody should be deemed the name Sunshine that we get from, the famous little football movie that everybody have watched over the years, Juju Lewis is that guy.
All right. With that being said, for Juju is one of the main reasons that we put Carrollton at number 1. The kid almost broke the single season record for passing. If you saw his performance in the state championship game alone,
right,
it spoke volumes of the kid's abilities and demeanor on the field.
And
as a freshman, leading that team as a freshman.
Let's not forget leading that team against an overmanned Mill Creek team.
Right.
And look damn good doing it.
And just to put it into perspective, as a freshman, he passed for 4,118 yards as a freshman.
A freshman. How long before he breaks the record? What year you think he'll break it?
Third year.
Going into his junior year, probably after the sophomore year. Yeah.
Yeah. He should be breaking the records in his junior year.
Yeah,
you're right, J-Bo. He's doing all of this in 7A.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
They say these days, he's him.
He's him. That's him. That's him.
Yeah.
But you have to get credit where credit is due to. Carrollton has always been an established, disciplined football program. You're gonna always see Carrollton in the mix some kind of way. They're in 7A now. They used to be in 5A. I think they were, what was they last year? 6A?
I think they was 5A last year and jumped to
5A?
7, possibly.
Yeah.
But Carrollton
Yeah. So
actually used to be 3A and made noise. You had big guys going on to stellar careers in college and NFL from Carrollton. And for that kid to come in and lead that school like he did and make a name for himself, I'm surprised they ain't gave him the key to the city already as a 14-year-old ninth grader.
yeah, I was really concerned that certain schools were going to try to recruit him after that freshman year, because we already know how it happens up in a certain area of Georgia. So but I'm glad to know that he stayed where his team is, and he's gonna hopefully finish out the remainder of his high school years there, making a name for himself at Carrollton.
They started out as 2A, according to Brian Jones.
They got the best Trojan stadium I don't seen.
Oh yeah, that facility is top notch. If you have never been to Carrollton, the Trojan Stadium and school and everything is top notch. So they have some of the best high school facilities as well.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
All right. At number 2, we had Mill Creek. Everybody's like, why you got Mill Creek there at number 2? Because, one, it's not out of respect for what they did last year, but at the time, we felt they had one of the top 4 teams in 7A to make it to the championship. And without a quarterback at Buford, or shall I say a standout quarterback at Buford, to complement the running game, we felt Mill Creek had more of it than Buford going into the spring. So that's the main reason why Mill Creek is sitting at 2.
Returning. We're not talking about the list of the roster for Buford and Mill Creek right now. We're talking about what's returning, or what would have been returning for Mill Creek and Buford as of the end of spring practice.
And when you get into what's returning, right, for Mill Creek, okay, yes, you're losing your quarterback, but you had a quarterback that was a sophomore last year in the win with actual playing time, quality playing time. And then you got a running back coming back in to help him out in Carmen Robinson, who rushed for over 1,800 yards last year, who's shooting for that 2,000-yard mark this year. All right. And then on top of that, you're also returning some receivers that had ample playing time last year. So good action. So, yes, Mill Creek is losing some things, but they're also returning some experience.
yeah. And you got to look to where they finished last year as well, because I mean, when you finish the way you finished last year, I mean, you can't expect but to see them somewhere high, on at least in the top 5.
All right. Buford, we have Buford at 3. Buford is Buford. I don't think we really need to get into them. As we said, these are early rankings. So when we do come out, go ahead.
I know people are pretty interested to kind of say, will Buford be the school that will get a state championship in every division that they have moved to? So now that they're in 7A, they have not gotten the 7A state championship yet. Is this their year to get it before the reclassification start next year? Or, with one of the top ranked quarterbacks in the country that has just moved there. So is it Buford's chance to get there this year? We don't know, because we didn't know this before, we made preseason rankings. So if you guys are thinking that, that's probably a discussion we can have.
Yes, and like again, this is based off of what they had based on spring practice. We have not factored in what they got over the summer, and we're not banking on future players at this juncture. Okay. But I mean, if you see Buford ascend to the top of the ranking in a later poll we put out, don't be shocked. That's all I'm saying.
Right. I don't think nobody can ever be shocked with Buford. You can't ever sleep on them, ever.
They got a rabbit's foot in their back pocket.
Got the football guards looking out for him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Colquitt County. One positive. Colquitt. I'm sorry.
Colquitt. Yes.
A positive thing in Colquitt County's favor right now is having Nico Fan return at quarterback. That's number one. All right. Number two, and that's what I was going to get to. He got somebody to throw the ball to, and Nye Carr at receiver. And he also has another receiver that well, hold on now. We got another receiver that we're sleeping on, Layden Thomas. We've been, he doesn't get a lot of mention, a lot of talk. And behind him, you got another receiver by the name of Amari Williams. All three of those individuals are rising seniors looking to make a statement this year.
Yep.
Now, go ahead.
Yep, and you got I don't know if people been sleeping on Landon Thomas because he's a top recruit in the state at the tight end position who's committed to Florida State. But I do think that dangerous duo between him and Nye Carr will bring a defense who may not have a strong secondary some trouble. And you talking about Landon Thomas, who stands 6'5", 6'6". So
245.
Yeah. So
tight end coming out.
So yeah, they're gonna bring some problems to some defenses. And that's my alma mater too. All right, Grayson. Everybody's looking to see what Grayson's going to do.
Hold on. I got one more thing on Colquitt.
Okay, go ahead.
And which we had spoke on is their running game. Is what's his name? Ramsey Dennis or Deshaun Brown gonna be that junior this year to step up and replace the production of Amarius Pace from last year?
Charlie Pace was stupid last year.
What's that?
And he's a Georgia State commit.
Who that?
But I don't think you can just replace that in one guy. So I think both of those guys will probably have to pick up the slack that Pace produced last year.
And that's my point. And that's what I was getting at. Those two got to take the load and take that pressure off of Fame in order for Colquitt to be successful this year.
Jeremy said Walton should be a little bit higher. They put Buford University out last year. Well, Jeremy, we don't just look at that. That's a factor. We also look at what they've got coming back too. So,
yeah.
All right, number 5, Grayson.
Grayson.
With Aaron Nolan coming back by himself, gives Grayson a chance. Now, here's the wild card factor. Are they going to buy into the new coach? That's the biggest question coming into this coming season is how are they going to buy into his game plan?
Yeah, but I trust that Grayson's decision on their selecting their coach was highly important to the fact that Grayson has always been considered another football powerhouse in the state of Georgia, and they've always had a stellar program. They've kind of failed back the last couple of years, due to different things, but it's time to see Grayson back out competing and making some noise up in the north.
Now let's be honest. One of the biggest upset last year was Grayson going down to Lowndes County and losing.
Right.
But here's the thing. Grayson new head man is Lowndes County coach from last year. Am I correct?
You're correct.
So I don't
Wait,
see that.
about Lowndes County coach from last year?
Didn't Grayson get Lowndes County coach from last year?
They did.
They did.
So going down and beating, going down the Lowndes and losing, I don't think you can see that out of Grayson this year. I think the coaching issue was the reason Grayson was down last year, and I just don't see that happening for Grayson anymore. So I can very well see and respect why Grayson would be number 5 on this list.
All right. Okay.
I agree.
So I'm just trying to verify one thing because you know we like to speak facts on here. Now I'm not sure where Santavius Bryant came from. If he did come from down south, then he was either a coordinator or a position coach from down there. But their new coach at Grayson is a guy by the name of Santavius Bryant, and this is his first head coaching job. So we shall see what he's selling and if they're buying it at Grayson.
Oh, he had Grayson.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yep. The buy-in is important.
So with that being said, number 6 on the list is North Cobb.
North Cobb.
North Cobb is one of those teams, and this goes for a lot of the teams 6 through 10, with the exception of Westlake. Always been on the cusp, but never really made it over the hill. Recent in the last few years. But we know that they're going to be a contender in 7-8. How far will they go? That's on them.
Now, who's in their region? Who's in North Cobb's region?
Tough region.
In that region with North Cobb, you have North Cobb, Walton, Wheeler, Cherokee, Kennesaw Mountain, and Osborne.
Okay.
So between North Cobb and Walton, excuse me. Well, let's not forget Kennesaw Mountain have been pushing for the region champ these last couple of years also. With a stellar quarterback that should be returning, was a junior last year. So I don't think they win it. I still think it's North Cobb or Walton to lose, but that's a pretty tough region that they're playing in.
Now, I do have one question that I want to address. Got a question by Pedro. Is Grayson that much better than this season than last year? It's hard to answer that question right now because they lost their top 3 receivers from last year.
And
so
coaching the system, I mean, it's a wild card. So
I mean, and if y'all know the history of Grayson, you know, they used to be a mini Buford. They gonna find some players. And so, you know, and when their program was Stella is because they did that. They found those players and got those players to Grayson.
Expect Grayson to be Grayson and replace those receivers that they lost from last year. Now, I will say this, though. They do have a rising junior by the name of Giovanni McGee. As a sophomore last year, he averaged 12.2 yards of reception with 9 touchdowns.
That's explosive. That moves explosive.
Yeah. So I'm looking for him to be what Barnes was. And when I say Barnes, I'm speaking of Jaden Barnes from last year, who led the team in receiving with 1179 yards and averaged 26.8 yards a catch for 15 touchdowns. Look for McGee to be the new Barnes this year. But it comes back to Aaron Nolan gaining that confidence and getting comfortable with these new, I'm not gonna say new, but with these upcoming receivers that got a man up, put on their jock strap and play some ball.
True.
So that's my thing with Grayson. It's all about the passing game for Grayson. The receivers for Grayson this year. Those guys stepping up. And on the flip side of that, I expect them to keep a stout, have a good defense as they've had before. Have those playmakers over there that they've had before. It's just a matter of which guy is going to step up and lead the defense. Is it going to be a dude is it going to be Amir Glenn, who as a junior had 125 tackles? Or is it going to be Jordan Thompson, who as a junior had 117 tackles? Who's going to lead the defense? That's the question. All right, so that's on Grayson. All right, North Cobb, like I say, as we get down towards the bottom of this top 10, any of these teams can make a push, and as we said before, any given Friday, a team can win, as Walton showed that last year. But which of these teams in 6 through 10 can be that dark horse that the team to come out of nowhere and surprise 7-8?
Oscar Miles says he thinks Parkview is going to surprise a lot of people.
Once again, it goes back to the same thing with Grayson. How they going to buy into the new coach at Parkview? Because do keep in mind, their former coach is gone. They got a new coach and a guy by the name of Joe Sturdivant, something like that. So it's a matter of them buying into his buying into his system.
My guess would probably be Westlake. They had a new coaching change, a year ago? So, he should be getting into his rhythm right now with his team and making another run and making a run in 7A as far as being a competitive team. Westlake has never been like a team that you can sleep on anyways, but definitely because they had a coaching change a year ago, I'm thinking, this season should be a good season to watch him coach and produce those numbers he need to produce as a head coach.
Well, I wish him good luck because I can't find no history on him.
And Westlake is a magnet school, so they can pretty much get who they want to. So
exactly.
And now at the same time, with Westlake, we do have to, it is some factors that we took into consideration when it came to Westlake. Prime example, they lost their quarterback in R.J. Johnson. We know that. Is it going to be the rising junior, or is somebody else going to step in to fill that role at quarterback for them? They lost their leading rusher that ran for almost 1,200. That almost ran for 1,200 yards last year by the name of Jaden Thomas. Who's going to replace that void? Leading receiver coming back as a rising junior, but right behind him, you lost your major production from your 2 seniors that just graduated. So, in all, who's going to step up on offense? Because, like I said, you got a lot of question marks. Quarterback, running back, receiver. Who's stepping up to fill those voids? And then when you get to the other side of the ball, you had some seniors over there, but you had some juniors that took up majority of the playing time. So yes, we expect your defense to be a lot better, but the thing is the offense going to keep the defense on the field so much this year that the defense is not going to be able to produce stops, turnovers, because they're getting worn out and getting tired because the offense can't move the ball.
So did they lose Avion this year, or is this his senior year?
You said Avion? Oh, that was his. Oh, you talking about Terrell, little brother?
Terrell, little brother, A.B. Terrell.
Yeah, yeah, he was a senior. You know, he going to Clemson.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, he going to Clemson.
That alone take a lot of production because he was an athlete for him going both ways, the offense and defense. So
Yeah, he was. And like I say, they got a lot of voids to fill on both sides of the ball. The main thing is on defense, they got to get those younger players some time to allow them to grow
and develop. Yes, get them reps in.
Exactly. That's the thing with Westlake. Is Westlake gonna be able to?
They do got Chris County like second game of the season, so I'm pretty sure them young guys will get a lot of playing time.
Get out of my head. Get out of my
I ain't
head.
gonna say. You know what? I ain't gonna say that. I'm gonna leave that alone. I was just gonna say.
They ninth graders gonna get some play time. What you talking about?
No, I mean, and that's not shady, Chris. I mean, they're a 7A school. I mean, you know, Chris County is AAA. So.
Oh no, baby, that was a shot fired, there, baby.
Listen, I'm trying to be politically correct. Should have
bullseye.
Cole, you stupid.
So what about Walton? I think Walton, you know, because you know they had the upset game last year or whatever. I think they're definitely a team that you just can't sleep on.
All right.
It's either gonna be a matter of they played above their weight class, or they realize that hey, I can do this. So interesting.
Here's the thing with Walton. One, they have a very good quarterback returning by the name of Jeremy Heglinski. What a lot of people don't know is the kid threw for over 3,500 yards last year. 3,500 yards, 37 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. So we know they got a quarterback coming back. They got their top 3 rushers returning. Their main rusher, who's a rising senior by the name of Marquis Bodyford, the kid ran for 1,500 yards last year, averaged 6.3 yards a carry. Right? Receiver-wise, you're bringing your top 2 receivers back. Your top 2 receivers respectfully had 19.4 yards per catch and 17 yards per catch. So they got some offense coming back, which they should be able to build upon, and you know, this upcoming season. The issue, though, is when you get to the defensive side of the ball.
Right. And would that be enough to balance the team out to be competitive? Because 7A is no joke. Like, you know, you look at 7A and you got to compete in 7A.
Yeah, because they're losing. I mean, they're losing a lot of production. Granted, they're going to be senior heavy on defense this year, and a lot of those juniors last year got some playing time, but they weren't impactful last year. You know, but I will say this. Remember the name Jake Thorner. Remember that name. Jake Thorner is a linebacker at Walton right now. He should definitely be making a name for himself as a rising junior. Because last year as a sophomore, the kid had, in 11 games, the kid had 86 tackles.
I love that linebacker core. Love the linebacker core.
Yeah, along with 3 sacks. So that's a kid to keep your eye on at Walton. But again, we understand he can't do it himself.
True.
All right.
Okay. Well, this is interesting, and this will be the last way too early preseason poll we have for 7A, because as we all know, next year we're going back down to 6 classifications. So all of this is going to look totally different come next year. And I'm wondering, depending on how they disperse everything, if you look at the bottom of this list right here, And how much noise do you think they would make in 6A? Would they be more of a factor?
Well, before we jump the gun on 6A, somebody's asking about Milton. Mr. Robert is asking about Milton.
I think he was answering the question, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, as a sleeper team, yeah.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Well, we still haven't talked about it. So with Milton.
Oh, we haven't. My bad.
Milton has a nice quarterback returning, a rising junior who threw for over 2,500 yards last year. 24 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. So, kid by the name of Luke Nickel. That's what I'm talking about. I said Nickel. That's his name, like the coin, right? He's going to help the passing game out. The question is, who's going to replace the senior that they lost, that running back that ran for almost 1,200 yards, and Scott Mowinski? He ran for over 1,200 yards. They had a sophomore right behind him, but he only averaged 2 yards a carry. So who's going to pick up the slack at running back to help out with the passing game? And then when you do look at the passing game, you got a quarterback coming back. You got your 2 top receivers coming back. My problem is with the passing game, they got to produce more yardage. You cannot come into a season where last year your leading receiver averaged 13 yards a catch, and the guy behind him averaged 10 yards a catch. As rising seniors, they got to improve on those receiving numbers.
Oh yeah, and if they don't have a running game, they might as well pick up, their passing game and work. That quarterback need to be working with the receivers right now during the off season. They rhythm down, because at the end of the day, if you don't have what you had in your running game returning, you got to make it up some kind of way in offense.
And then on defense, they lost a lot of production on defense. The question is, can linebacker Jack Lawson produce what he produced last year? Last year, the kid.
I'm sorry.
I think he can. He was a great linebacker.
Yeah, he was. The kid produced, in 14 games, the kid produced 142 tackles. He averaged 10 tackles.
Yes.
He averaged 10 tackles a game. 10 tackles a game, and then he had 2 sacks on the season. So in my mind, I'm looking towards him to lead the defense and get that defense involved and be productive. But again, though, they lost a lot of seniors who produced on that defense. So it's on him and the other kid by the name of Ja'Cory Stewart. Ja'Cory played, he plays outside linebacker, so he's going to have to produce also. But they can't do it without those 3 to 4 men up front to help them out.
Yeah, that D line has to. Yeah, that D line has to help, especially with an edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So expect Milton to at least get to the second round of the playoffs, but it's just a matter of, like I say, how can the defense help the offense? And then, when you look at their region, the region is, for the most part, the region is soft. The only team that's going to get them a push in their region is Lambert. You're going to hear the Lambert name throughout the season. I expect Lambert to break the top 10 somewhere along the way, as they did last year. And we're going to be like, again, we're going to ask the question, who is Lambert? Where they come from?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, but what they got on their upcoming schedule for outer region games? Who are they playing for those games?
Talking about Milton?
Yeah.
Well, Milton starts the season off against Collins Hill. Then they play a team from Florida called Western. Play Roswell. Plays Alpharetta. North Cobb. And then after North Cobb, they get into region play. Now, that's Milton. Now, as you get into Lambert's schedule for the upcoming season, Lambert starts off with Sequoia, plays Dawson County, Mountain View, Flowery Branch, East Coweta, who we know ain't got no quarterback, and then goes into region play. And Milton and Lambert meets the last game of the year.
So that'd be interesting. And we've always said that, your out of region games are very important when you're building up your team to be prepared for region and beyond region. So when you're trying to go into the playoffs and you ain't been playing nobody and your region is weak, it's gonna show in them playoff games.
Iron sharpens iron.
Man, just ask those Savannah schools. Oh, my bad. I wasn't supposed to say that, huh?
Say that again.
Just ask those Savannah schools.
My
bad.
think Jamie don't joined us. I think Jamie don't joined us. Somebody in the group said he ain't happy.
It's all right. Jamie knows the deal, and he's seen this list.
Yeah, he's seen it in the group. What's up, Jawan? Larry.
Hey, Jawan. But yeah, we were asking about you, Jamie. Glad you were able to get on.
Exactly.
So again, I'm gonna put the disclaimer out there. These polls were made up during the spring. Do keep in mind we are, and we will be going back to reevaluate them soon. By the end of the month, we expect to have our regular preseason polls out after a reevaluation. Oh, hold on. What's our favorite term after collecting more data?
Mm-hmm.
And what we need from you, podcast land. What we'll do over
listen clearly. Listen to what she's saying. We need this from y'all. Listen.
Okay. So, podcast land, over the next few weeks, we will be putting out the way too early predictions that we made from single A all the way up to 7A. And what we want you to do is look at those lists and kind of talk to us in the comments and tell us what you have coming back and where you think you really should be, and give us some data other than we think we're gonna be good and the next man up, because that's not gonna work.
Yeah, unbiased data.
Yeah, give us some unbiased stuff. Tell us what you've seen, what you've witnessed. Okay, we've got this linebacker coming in from the 9th grade team. He's da-da-da-da-da. Or last year, this guy did this and he's coming back. Tell us that kind of stuff. And again, we're going to put it all out, and we want everybody to put in so that when we come up with our preseason poll, we won't have to hear your mouth. Okay?
Hold on, I got a response from Mr. Christopher Sloan.
Right. I'm glad somebody respond. I was about to.
Yeah. As we consistently say on here, we don't care about your region play. We care more about your non-region play, because your non-region strength of schedule is going to prepare you for the region and the playoffs. So again, we're not saying only teams from strong regions are going to win a championship. We're saying those teams with a strong non-region schedule and those teams with players / athletes on them are more than likely going to win a state championship. Anything else y'all want to add?
No, I mean, it makes sense. It's iron sharpens iron. And
exactly.
In the event that you don't have a strong region, you gotta play somebody out of region that's gonna test you.
I'm gonna say it like this: y'all stop acting like y'all don't understand what's going on. Preseason lines everybody up, so you're supposed to be clicking on all cylinders by the time you get to region play. That's all, and that's it.
And having them cupcake schedules do not help. It's been proven.
Because that weeds y'all out in the first and second round.
Yeah, and it's been proven.
And with that being said, data is bull sugar because Coke don't worry about Pepsi.
You just had to say something, huh, MP?
Right.
Bless them hard.
Data for me, because they let y'all have it about just that one phone.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Do
But
y'all
again,
do anybody know who Greg Howard is?
Nah.
Greg, introduce yourself to the podcast group. Where you who you representing?
And where you from?
Greg is from Perry. He also have ties to Northeast. Greg is a guy that I can honestly say not biased to a lot of stuff. So
Is that my buddy? My almost birthday twin.
Okay, well, welcome, Greg.
I said welcome.
Welcome, Greg.
Happy to have you.
Look, and if you're representing any schools from Division 1, class 1 all the way to 7, get your fans in here and represent. I know we got a few Colquitt people. Get some Colquitt people in here. Buford, y'all get some people up in here so that we can have a fan base that represents the school. So when we're putting out our information, y'all don't think that we're being biased toward the South or the middle or whatever, because, schools up north and all this kind of stuff. No, we're not being biased or anything like that. It's because we don't have the data or the information or the people that represent those schools that can validate the stuff that we're trying to put out there.
Data is bull sugar.
A lot of
that is not bull sugar. Okay, that is not bull sugar, but
we're gonna use another name for it.
Okay, so I get what he's saying. That is not bull sugar, but we know what we're doing. In other words,
right?
Can I interject?
You can't tell an analytical person that is bull sugar. That,
right?
My mind is analytical. You can't do.
I know you analytical, but I'm just saying,
What you got, Shakira?
We know what we're doing.
Right. So it is not the whole data thing is clearly a joke for those that are just joining. But at the end of the day, we do not discriminate. If you playing good ball, we talk about you. If you ain't, we talking about that too.
Exactly.
Come on, your teams. Let us know. If you feel some kind of way, whatever, just come on and talk to us. We're here. We're open. We want to hear from those teams that we do not speak a lot on.
I do got a question for Mr. Greg Howard, though. I want to know what 3 games you expect Milton to lose. I know I can see 2 on their schedule off the bat, but what's the third one? I'm lost. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there, right? I can see them losing to Roswell and North Cobb, but who else you think they're gonna lose to?
Are they hosting the Classic this year?
I know they're going. If that's the Freedom Bowl, they're playing Collins Hill.
Well, they won't lose that one.
Exactly. I don't see them losing to the team down in Florida, to Western, out of Broward at the Broward County National Football Showcase. So, like I say, Roswell, North Cobb, 2 non-region games that's not going to impact their playoff standing. Who's the third team? Because they definitely ain't going to lose to South Forsyth or Forsyth Central or West Forsyth of Denmark. The only team you can pick is Lambert, and that's that one region loss.
Lambert, I don't know what they got coming back, but Lambert put together a strong season last year and challenged them for the region. I don't know if they got that kind of power coming back, but maybe that's what he's talking about.
Well, he's saying Collins Hill. We're going to see, but in my mind, Collins Hill lost a lot. Christopher Sloan, your question to us is, How many teams that played strong non-region games went deep in the playoffs? Do you really want me? Do you really need for us to answer that question?
Like really?
What classification do you want to start out in? That's my question for you, so we can answer your question.
Exactly.
We're gonna put it like that.
Yeah.
So let me guess. Chris Salone has to be from the Savannah region.
I'm assuming so. With a question like that.
All division. So you think a week schedule is okay?
Okay, first thing. Okay, Christopher Sloan, so we can understand where your frame of mind. What school do you represent?
He talking about all divisions.
I know, right? Now, I need to. I'm trying to understand. You're a syrup maker. Okay.
What?
Enough said on that one.
Right.
You fucking lying.
That's why I said, oh, okay.
Welcome, Cairo. What's going down? What's going on down in Grady County?
Man, hold on. I gotta get like J-Bo. I gotta get my drink ready for this one. Cause boy, I'm about to go in on Chris.
4 days in Cairo, so he might be a little delusional.
Okay. Yeah.
a little.
And the temperature's been hot down there in the south. He might be alive.
For 4 days straight, not I salute them for being able to do that, because they can't do that in Thomas County. But yeah, outside of that, y'all ain't hear no name. Nothing. I got one of y'all right now.
Right.
Going on Monopoly. Y'all ain't hear no name. Don't get on here talking about no K-Roll.
And y'all had a spring game against what, Colquitt? So that game don't even count. Jamie, we want to know your input. You said you want to give your input, so we want to know your input. And you're right, Jamie. Those teams do make a difference.
Ooh. They do make a lot of difference. Okay.
Chris. Okay, Chris, real fast, because I just had to pour my drink up before I said it. Those non-region games that you schedule those against tough opponents. That because keep in mind, non-region has no impact on your playoff position, on your playoff seeding. So you can go in and lose every single one and take a number one seed with a losing record. But they make a difference because they prepare your team. They get your players right. Because the deeper you get in the playoffs, the harder the competitions get.
You gotta be battle tested. You gotta be battle tested. You got them little cupcake schedules. You can't be battle tested going into no region games or even no playoffs, especially if you got a tough region. So unless you got a cupcake region and you barely make it through that region, and you out the first round of the playoffs, first and second round of the playoffs because you ain't played nobody, and it shows.
I mean, you might be able to get through that first round and maybe squeak through that second round. But by the time the third rolls around, you get beat like a drum.
Yeah, because you're messing with some hitters by that time.
So, and you got to be
tested. Right. But you got to be tested.
But at the same time, though, this is coming from an individual whose team hasn't won a division title since 2018. So we understand your frustration. We get it. But you got that tough non-region schedule helps you region and playoff, bro. It does. If you don't believe us, ask any school from Savannah.
I mean, and if you don't believe us, watch this upcoming season.
And the only thing I can think of, like with regards to his mentality, if you're in a tough region, an extremely tough region, you might want a few cupcakes in the beginning to kind of get your feet wet and you want to avoid injuries.
Bullshit. Ain't nobody trying to fluff no schedule.
No, I don't agree with that. I'm trying to figure out.
Get the logic.
Yes, that's what I do. You know what I mean? I try to figure out why people think the way that they think. That's the only reason I could think.
Can I say, okay, I'm going to say this.
Jamie.
I'm
I
gonna
want
say
to have a
this.
decent record and be ready to play weak teams.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm not trying to be naive or high and mighty when I say this. Mr. Christopher Sloan, go take a look at City Grove from last year, and look at their schedule and look at what they did. I'm gonna leave it at that.
True.
And the year before, go look at it and see what they did. And I'm gonna leave it at that. And then, therefore, I want you to give me an answer to your question. We've answered your question. Now you answer, and let me know what you think.
And that's a great example, Mike, because Cedar Grove region is not strong. But you look at their outer region schedule. Last year they played national ranked teams. So, you got to look at that. And if especially as a coach, when you're in a head coach position and you know that your region ain't tough, it is soft as toilet paper, you're going to have to create a schedule that's going to battle test your team. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting on the sidelines come playoff time or early in the playoffs, sitting at home, eating turkey and dressing while everybody else practicing.
So, Christopher, what mini team? Give us some examples that go and first of all, what's your definition of deep? Second of all, give me some examples. You say you've seen plenty teams go to the playoffs with a weak region.
Man, all I know is he ain't used to being past the second round right now for several years.
And if they did have a weak region, they might have had a strong non-region, so that's not saying anything, Christopher. If you said we're saying if they have a soft region, if they region soft as toilet paper, then it behooves that coach to play some competition outside of region to prepare his team for region and beyond.
That's all we're saying.
Yeah.
You can't be 4A in a weak region and all your outer region are from single and double A.
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense. It's not gonna help you when you get up to Cedar Town and you got to play them.
And I'm glad you said toilet paper South region, because we know Cedar Grove region is poop. And for them to play the schedule that they play.
Hold on. Why you ain't say peach? But okay.
We have a weak one too.
Bro, you don't worry about what we doing. You want to put Cedar Grove out there.
I know it.
Cedar Grove region is poop.
No, it ain't. Two of the teams been in the state championship game the past 2 years, so it ain't too weak.
No, that just means you're top heavy. But go ahead.
Go ahead, man. Tell them something. So with that being said, Chris, if you can't, I mean, you can go right down there in your own backyard. Everything down there on that Florida line, on 84. You can look down there and look at every team that's, i.e. Bainbridge. Bainbridge play a tough non-region schedule. Went 0-4 a couple of years back in a non-region schedule. Jump into the region and go undefeated, win the state championship. Like, that out-of-region schedule prepared them to make that kind of run. And that's throughout the state, throughout history. So you can check it out yourself if you don't believe it.
For sure.
And why you say that, Greg? If you're gonna make a statement, validate it.
Because he's from Perry and he don't have
I need a Scary Perry to go ahead and validate his statement. He don't post it.
All right, Jamie, what's your question about these rankings? What's your issue or what's your question about these rankings? We want some feedback.
Come on, Jamie. Representing them Packers. Them Hogs.
We just wait on you to type your response and hit that send button.
And while we waiting on Jamie, J-Bo, I checked them brackets out, man. That's a good job. I haven't shared them with the podcast crew yet, but I think I am, because I think we're going to get a good laugh out of it, J-Bo. The brackets have been released for football playoffs this year, and J-Bo and I just jumped on and did a way too early bracket. I gotta get y'all J-Bo's bracket so y'all can check that out.
Oh,
Okay.
Lord.
Yeah. Definitely looking forward to that one.
Okay. Oh, that's gonna strike us some conversation for sure.
Yep.
Early preseason tested bracket.
Yes.
Jamie says he thinks Mill Creek lost way too much to be number 2, and he thinks Walton needs to be higher.
Okay.
Explain it. I mean, I'm gonna take this one first, and I ain't in
Okay.
front of my computer to run out stats. I'm just gonna tell you just the watered down common sense version of it. We know what Mill Creek lost in the Caleb Downs. We know that. Can't replace that. Same thing if you heard. I think you joined us late tonight, Jamie, but we were speaking with some of our Thompson listeners and whatnot. We know you can't replace a special talent like Caleb Downs. We know that your quarterback also has graduated and moved on. But if you look at the end of that season, what was senior heavy and what was the production of those seniors versus these other teams that we have in that top 10. Mill Creek is returning a lot more production than what those other teams are. When you got a team like Mill Creek and you damn near blowing everybody out 40, 50 points a game, you get a lot of those young guys stepping in and able to put up numbers that we can verify. So we don't know who's going to be the starter, who's going to replace Caleb Down, who's going to be the next quarterback. No, but just going off of production of last year at the end of the season, Mill Creek is right where they deserve to be. It was hard not to put them at number 1. I'm just going to be honest. The only reason they're not number 1 with what they got returning is a kid named Juju.
Exactly.
So, and Jamie, as a Colgan County Packer, I think you know a lot about old Juju.
Oh yeah.
Because I think he came down to the hall pen and did something to y'all last year.
He did. The battle of the black and golds.
Yes.
But y'all funny. Y'all ain't funny. Cole, you stupid. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Cole, you stupid. But at the same time, though, as a fan of whoever you're a fan of, you gotta apply some common sense to your team, man.
You do.
I mean, everybody want their team to succeed and win it all every year, but apply some common sense.
Yeah. You have to. Sometimes that reality ain't always the thing you want to see and hear, but we have to face the music sometime when it comes to, each year it's different,
Yeah.
You have the dynamics of changes and the different variables, coaches changes, kids transferring and, this, that, and the other. So, the dynamic of a team can change at any given moment every year.
Yeah. Because I know what truly concerns me about my team. So I'm real with it. So be the same with yours.
Jamie said Colquitt needs to be lower because they play a soft schedule and they lost a lot on defense. So Cedar Grove soft, ain't it, Jamie? That's right.
Wow. That's messed up. But that hit below the belt right there. You know what though? Nah. You know what though? Somebody. Oh, I know who it was that put that in there. I ain't gonna even read that comment because I just remember who put that in there. Yeah, that damn Pedro Senor guy. That Mexican done put something up in the comments. I ain't gonna even relay it back.
But Colquitt has their region games. It can go either way each year based off how Lount's team is. Now Valdosta in the 7A. So we've been waiting on Camden to come back. So I mean, who knows? Tifton, we can count them out, but I mean, 7A, in that region play, I think even with a softer schedule, I think that region play makes the difference.
Let me see. Okay, Jamie would call quick.
Jamie, don't be worried about your secondary because Coach Polite got them straight, and he will have them straight if he don't have them straight by now.
Well, J-Bo, I'm gonna answer your question. I know if everything go according to plan, somebody from the FNL podcast will be at the Langston Hughes Carrollton game. At least one body, if everything goes according to plan.
And I was due to be at that game. J-Bo, we'll definitely be trying to check you all out over there in the Columbus area. We'll also be checking on some Thompson games this year. You'll see us at a lot of games this year. Unfortunately, I won't be at any of the first week games. I'll be out of town, so y'all gonna have to keep me posted. Y'all know I won't be able to function the first week of Georgia high school football, and I won't even be in the state.
No.
How you think I feel when I'm not there?
Well, as long as everything go according to plan, well, I'll be riding around the state of Georgia for 2 weeks.
Colquitt versus Lee is going to be a good one. I agree. You'll be in.
Oh yeah.
Hold on, what's that?
Is that a? Oh no, that's not a preseason. That's the first game of the season with them.
Yeah, that's a scheduled game.
Colquitt versus Lee.
Ooh.
Now, I think that game is going to make or break either or team. You know, whoever come out on top, I think it's going to make their season.
That game going to come down to coaching.
Yeah. And, you know, Lee is really going to be starting over. Still got a stud running back. I mean, in my opinion, the number 2 true running back in the state, behind Duke Watson out of Mary Person. But if they go down there, because it's in Leesburg this year, I think, if Colquitt come up there and they beat Colquitt in their place, I think that's going to propel Lee to have a real strong season. With the type of talent that both teams have been putting out these last couple of years, that is probably going to be the second best game behind that Langston Hughes and Carrollton game.
Oh, they playing in the hog pen.
Oh, they go down to Colquitt?
Yeah, they go to Colquitt.
My Lord, Lee County.
About to be hog wild.
We got to go down there and bother them folks too, man. So we understand your pain. At least all don't count, though.
19.
It's gonna prepare. It's gonna prepare the Trojans.
I hope so.
That'll demoralize them.
I mean, for real. No, Greg, ain't no way. I mean, I've seen both kids run. I think Nick Wolford is a great back, but I don't think a back alive in Georgia high school football is better than Duke Watson.
Yeah, both equally great running backs, but you got to get a credit to Duke Watson, who has produced all 4 years of his high school.
And the biggest thing about Duke versus Nick is that offensive line that Northeast had. Don't get me wrong, shit, that's a hell of a year. I met the kid personally at a 7-on-7 this year, and I shook his hand and gave him all his credit that is due. But he had a hell of a line to run behind. If you ever watch Mary Person and what Duke Watson have to deal with, and still have a quiet 200 yards, 230,
right
here and there, like it's ridiculous.
The boy is making plays.
Yeah,
and you got to make them plays.
Yeah, that's the best back in this state, man.
So you basically calling Duke. So you basically calling Duke a baby. Man, I can't even think the kid on the grown man name from on the Detroit line, Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders. Let me tell you this.
Don't let him break out because the boy got speed.
Man, if you would have put him on that Buford team with Justice Hayes was on last year, or the Northeast team behind that line, or the Warner Robins Demons line, you know, that man would probably broke the single season rushing record, man. This man is doing this with a minute line. I'm talking about that line is just ridiculous. It ain't even considered
mediocre.
Yes. That man is the best in state, man.
Oh, so all they doing is just getting in the defense way. They ain't blocking. They just getting in the way.
They ain't even getting in the way because the defense is just pushing that line right on over. And that kid is still giving you a quiet 200 yards a game, 160, 180 every time you turn around. Now, Peach played them last year. I think Peach beat them handily by 2 or 3 touchdowns. That kid had 200 yards on us. And you can't even, I'm looking like, how? Like every time they snap the ball, it's like the line is in the backfield. How in the world this kid go for 200? He just silky. He's graceful. I have it with my own eyes. I've seen a lot of high school football. Duke Watson is the best back this year. I'm telling you, in the state of Georgia.
Okay.
Jamie, I love my Packers, but you're gonna have to put Carrollton somewhere in that mix.
Colquitt versus Walton for state, and it's gonna be 23-20. No Buford, huh? No Carrollton or Buford.
No, you cannot say 7A state championship and not include Juju Lewis. I'm sorry,
man.
Jamie, and I'm a diehard Packer fan and alumni. So, but you can't. Ain't no way you gonna say that.
Okay,
you can't say that.
I'll just say this real quick, Thirst. If you gotta put Juju in there, I expect that Juju going on one side. But he ain't been paying attention what that university and over there on north of Sugar Hill been doing.
Right.
They going in the second side.
Man, that's what I'm about to get at. The only reason I didn't want to say it because I got to look at the bracket and make sure they ain't gonna be
lining up with each other.
Yeah, that's the only thing stopping me from saying it. Verifying that updated bracket because they don't rearrange the bracket again.
Now that bracket that I put in the comments there. That's definitely the brackets.
Who's gonna beat Carrollton in the Final Four? That's what I want to know, Jamie. Please tell me, because you better have 4 or 5 stars back there in the secondary.
Nobody.
That's what Mill Creek had last year, and that kid still put up like 500-yard pass.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. You better have 4 5 stars in the secondary and 4 or 5 stars on that defensive line.
On the defensive line.
Look, I'm trying to tell you, and look, we talking about the highest scored Georgia high school state championship game last year with Carrollton. The numbers that guy and that other team put up, ain't no way you cannot include him in the state championship game this year.
That dude put up
he did that as a freshman.
As a freshman, put up 531 yards in a state championship game. And he was 14, 15 years old doing that?
Right. Still wet behind the ears.
Breath smelling like Similac.
Right.
Come on, man. 531 as a freshman?
You gotta include Juju Lewis. I'm sorry.
Greg, again, he say Perry back will have 1,200 yards rushing. Perry has a great back down there. As a matter of fact, they got 2. I disagree with that, though, only because you have a quarterback that can sling the ball around the field. If you'd have said you'd have had maybe 2,000-yard receivers, I can go with that. But I don't see your offensive coordinator and head coach not utilizing a quarterback and the talented receivers y'all have. So I give both of those backs you have splitting time, maybe 700-800 yards a game. I mean a season for both backs, but I don't see 1,200 for one back alone.
Hey, not mean to interrupt you guys, but I'm working on the logo for the shirts.
Put it inside the football. It's too big. Too much going on.
I know I'm gonna make it small. I'm just saying I'm just working on it. I'm just showing you how it'll be, but yeah, I'm working on it.
Yeah, you can put FNL across the top, podcast across the bottom.
Yeah.
Or the football on the inside of the football.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that 7A. With the way the teams are stacked right now, it's hard not to have Buford and Carrollton in the championship game. As long as they don't, as long as they're on opposite sides of the bracket.
Yeah. And now that the bracket is on the website, we'll be releasing it Thursday. Maybe you can release it tomorrow or something, so y'all can look at the lineups for the playoff brackets. Again, J-Bo had compared way too early bracket list, but I'm also release mine too, just for entertainment purposes only.
Oh, we gotta put that disclaimer. You know what? I'll be sure to put that on the post.
Yeah, put that on the post, please, because honey, these folks be on had a doggone aneurysm. They see some of that stuff.
I know, right? But the bottom line is, all I know is take these brackets and get familiar with them, because the Wizard say he putting some money up this year. The Wizard say he got to make his money back, so somebody gonna pay the Wizard this year.
Because I sure got the Wizard money last year.
I was gonna ask you if he paid you.
He paid. He was quick with it too. Flip of the wrist. My phone said,
y'all forgot who the Wizard run with. The Wizard be running with the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy and the Wicked Witch.
He had some trouble at the Wicked Witch though. She's like, "What you giving my money away for?"
Right. Let them know, Mike, what we did with that, so that way they'll know what's upcoming and they'll be able to, we get more participation with people.
All right, so this is what the Wizard does. The Wizard does throughout the regular season. He's gonna have a pick'em. Those that gain the most victories throughout the season, the top 5 gets to challenge the Wizard throughout the playoffs. In the playoffs, the Wizard last year he gave up $50 last year. This year, the Wizard is feeling more confident, and I think he's gonna do 100 this year. So you gotta beat the Wizard or beat the Wizard every week, 12 weeks straight. And you come in that top 5, those top 5 individuals plus the Wizard will go at it for the state in the state, all 5 rounds of the state playoffs.
Hey, you better keep the Wizard from me, because the way I'm feeling, I might roll him for that honor.
I don't know. I'm just saying the Wizard is feeling good.
Nothing's changed. I'm helping whoever wins. I'm helping you spend your money.
Hey, come to think of it, babe, you all up there in the DMV. We ain't even get to see none of that money. We supposed to have some cigars and sips off of that 50.
Let me interject, because you can't say babe.
I know. I was going to share too.
I'm sorry. Shan, you supposed to have shared that with us.
I know y'all supposed to smoke that up, one.
Yeah, we supposed to have cigars and
but I got y'all. Yeah, I got to step away. My baby calling. I'll be right back.
All right, man.
I know, right? I thought y'all were gonna, smoke it up in some cigars or something. But it is what it is. Mr. J-Bo, we did speak on this earlier, but we'll recap it. We do plan on doing the back to school giveaway again this year. With that being said, I'm gonna stop there and I'm gonna let EP explain the rest and exactly how he wants it done this year.
Okay. Oh, hold on. Oh, I was fixing me something, but here he is. Who wants to know that?
J-Bo.
Oh yeah, we doing gift cards again. Last year we did 5. This time we want to do at least 20 if possible. And that's what we're trying to do, raise enough money for we can be a blessing to someone and their family that need help with back to school supplies or whatever they need for school. So that's what that's how it's gonna be.
Because FNL loves the kids.
We do. And if you know someone that's worthy of it, please nominate them. And we want to help those that are in need. So, if you know somebody that can you definitely use it, let us know. That's not to say, I'm sure there's some kids that are deserving, but if their parents can provide for them, we would much rather give it to somebody who's really, really struggling. Not saying that they don't deserve it, but
Correct. Cash App is going across the bottom of the screen. If you want to donate to that cause, donate and be sure to put in the remarks comment section of your Cash App donation what it's for. And Mo, EP, where do you want them to send nominations to?
To the email address.
Sports Talk Friday Night Lights at gmail.com.
And it might be different than sending it to Cash App. It might not go to Cash App because Cash App is starting to steal people money. And every time that I get something, they take from it. So we're going to end up going a different direction.
And
maybe
that means
PayPal or Chime.
There's nothing that they can do to not monetize us. So thank y'all for tuning in. And if you're contributing, we appreciate that.
Amen.
What you said, Kira?
Oh Lord, I don't know now.
You said something about monetizing or something.
Man, you know she on that Hennessy.
Oh, okay.
He talked about monetizing.
Oh yeah, we are monetized. We are monetized. Yes, we are. And that's the reason I said send us stars, because we are monetized. We are monetized. We will be doing Player of the Week again. So be looking forward for that. So yeah. We are monetized. We are. So you can help send stars as well.
Send your donations to sports. Send your donations to or your stars to Friday Night Light podcast, but your nominations go to Sports Talk Friday Night Lights at gmail.com.
Correct.
Okay. And thanks to all who want to participate. We thank you.
We had it was this family in Macon, and the grandma was raising 10 of her grandkids.
My Lord.
And she was so happy and blessed and thankful for receiving that. From receiving it, she cried, and it put tears in my eyes because we was able to touch her kids, and they was thankful and they said thank you. And things like that, to help someone that's less fortunate and we able to do it, that's a big plus. And again, J-Bo, you still want to be a sponsor. We're looking for 2 sponsors. Well, 3 sponsors if it's possible. I have another person in that willing to be a sponsor, but I just got to get them the information and what we're doing and what we're trying to go. So, and I know that one person there, and I think J-Bo still want to be a sponsor. So then we'll just have to find one more sponsor and we'll be good to go. Because Bull Sugar and Coke don't worry about Pepsi.
Okay.
And down.
Okay, so with that being said, it is 9:00. You want me to close it out?
Yeah. Okay. And state if they want to be a sponsor, send it to the email address, and we'll get them the proper paperwork, and we'll go from there.
Okay. All right. Again, thank you to everyone who has listened to the podcast tonight. We hope you enjoyed yourselves, and thank you for participating. We want to give a special shout out to Mr. EJ Colson for taking the time to interview with us today, and we wish him the best of luck tomorrow as he announces his decision. He really is a great, intelligent, mannerable young kid. thanks to my podcast members. Y'all bring it like you do every week. Appreciate you guys. Again, to those of you who would like to donate to our back to school campaign, you can do so. Cash App is FNL Podcast. That might change, so look out for that. In the meantime, if you know of a needy student or athlete that would need help for back to school, please send your nominations to Sports Talk Friday Night Lights at gmail.com. Again, that's Sports Talk Friday Night Lights at gmail.com. Be on the lookout within the next few weeks. We're going to post our way to early season polls from single A all the way up to 7A. And we really, really want you to give your input and share it so other people can give their input, so that, you know, when we come out with our preseason poll, you won't be looking at us sideways and we won't have to cuss you out. Does anybody else have anything else to say?
Man, all I got is a normal routine. Peace up, A-Town down.
And at the end of sports is a S.
You better not lose.
And the end of sports is a S. And the end of lights is a S.
Yes, as far as the email address goes. Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you guys next week.
All right.
Y'all take care.
Deuces.
Tune in. This is your Friday Night Lights podcast, photo and entertainment, and Middle Georgia sales and services. Coke don't worry about Pepsi.
I had to go see a man about a meal.
Look at here, look at here.
A-Town down.
And you better not lose.
Tune in.
Not so fast, my friend.
You better say it with your chest.
Come on now, shout it.
And you better not lose.
Hey, you better watch your mouth now. I am a label. Better shut your mouth. Yes, I am. I don't mean to interrupt you. Better say it with your chest. Let's get it.
And you better not lose.